Okay, good morning everyone. Today we are going to learn the new topic about tenses. So what do you mean by a tense? Tense is a time of an action. Certain action took place. How can I identify the tense? Based on the verb and based on the time. Time especially for the grammatical verbs. See here, if you see the sentence here, there are three types of sentences you can observe. He speaks English and he wrote a letter, he will write a letter. You see this one, there are underlined words, writes, that is V1, present form of the verb, that is in present tense. And the second one you see that he wrote a letter, that is the second form is used past tense. Third one it is, he will write a letter, that will plus V1 used future tense. What do you mean by present tense? What do you mean by past tense? And what do you mean by future tense? Present tense, the actions which are occurred in the present time, we use to say in present tense. The action which are occurred in the past, we use to say in past tense. The action which are occurred in the future, which will be occurring in the future, that will be used in future tense. Okay, here basically there are three tenses. We can say the three tenses. These are three tenses. So based on the usage, the tenses are subdivided into four. These are called subtenses, the types of sentences or tenses we call them. Number one, simple tenses. Number two, progressive or continuous tenses. Number three, the perfective or perfect tenses. Number four, perfect or progressive continuous tenses. We can also say the perfect, progressive or continuous tenses. So why do you call these orders? Because the various kinds of verbs are used different way. Here in tenses, the basic element is a verb. In a sentence, how the verb is a basic element. In tenses also, if you wanted to form any sentence, verb is a basic element. If you do not have verb, you cannot identify the tense that belong to particular tense. The sentence also very important. Here, when you are learning tenses, we have to focus on the formation and we have to focus on the function, otherwise usage, and we have to focus on the clue words, because the clue words help you to identify that belong to particular tense here. Because one more thing here, when there is a when you take any type of sentence, if you want to rectify the sentence, how can you identify this? The time of an action very important. The time, particular time. Suppose I say the sentence. Suppose I say particular sentence. It is that he is coming to school every day. So every day, that is the word, helps you to identify the main verb. Suppose every day this is a daily action that cannot be used in continuous form. That's why we have to use in he comes to school every day. Particular word that helps you to identify and change it. He comes to school every day. That's what we have to observe. This is the way, as we are learning English, for the functional English, it's not formal English. There we used to commit so many mistakes. There will be a set of lot of grammatical rules. If you are aware of the grammatical rules, definitely we can learn English writing well. It is that not for the point of examination, and for general life also we can use it, because for communication English is not required any kind of tenses, but for the written English, tenses, rules and everything must be followed it. So let us see what type of tenses are there, the sub tenses here. See here, types of sentences. You see that one. If you take in present tense, there are each one again the present tenses. Simple tenses means all simple present tense, simple past tense, simple future tense. Coming to progressive or continuous tense, we call the present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. And the last one is, the third one is the perfective tense. Perfect tense we call that. Perfect tense is here. That one is the present perfect, past perfect and the future perfect. And coming to perfect progressive continuous tenses, we also use that present perfect, present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, the future perfect continuous tense. This is the way we use these all types of tenses. That's very good thing. Then how to identify this one particularly because of the verb formation it is that. Otherwise other clue words also we have to observe that. How we change the sentence here? He is coming to school every day. Then he comes to school every day. Here also when you are learning that, sir, how the simple tenses you call, sir? How do you call the continuous tenses? Why do you call perfect tenses? And why do you call perfect progressive sentences, sir? Because simple sentence the verb is used simple, especially one particular form. Any without helping verb we use the sentence. That's we call the simple tenses here. Another one is the progressive that indicates continuous. Suppose one action is going on there. Whatever action is going on is not a matter. Here, how it is going on, the duration of the time to indicate. That's why we need to provide particular helping verb based on the time it is that. Then here we have to remember other B forms also here. There are B forms here: is, am, are, were, was, were. Also it will be here. Coming to perfective. What is perfect here? Particular action completed is. When it happened, complete. When it complete, we know it's not a matter for us. There we see that we have to supply to make a sentence, especially our has had also use it. Coming to progressive or the continuous perfect progressive of continuous tenses here. How to use perfect continuous tense or perfect progressive? How to use these all this? Because very important thing is here we have to know there could be a kind of difference. Progressive continuous tenses and the perfect continuous tenses, because it indicates that one there is a different variation for the present continuous tense and the present perfect continuous tense. Here continuous tenses we use it at the time of speaking what action is going on, what type of action is going on, we talk about it here. But sometimes we discussed that when action began in the past, then continue particular moment and may continue the future also. To indicate that one, we use perfect progressive tenses. So this is the way we have to go on to identify the clue word. At the same time, we have to modify the main verb so that we can write it. Here also we have to observe when you are making sentences, we have to know properly. Very important thing is the main verb formations, be forms, have forms, do forms. At the same time, the subjects properly. That's especially we have to observe that one here. Pronouns we have to know. The first thing is pronouns. What are the pronouns we use it? That is very important. And the same the main verbs also we have to know that what kind of main verb formations. And another one helping verb especially for be forms. Be forms, do forms, modal auxiliary verbs which are required for us to form a sentence here. At the same time, we have to know other clue words also so that we can write sentences without any mistakes.